Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to listen up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
I like when they say, Ryan, who plays basketball? Nika does. It's Phil and Ryan. Listen up. And just like that, Ryan, the regular season is over. I don't know if you need to fix anything on your end. I think I hear a little bit of echoing over on this side, but we will get into the game recap right away as number 10 UConn closes undefeated. That's right, Ryan, undefeated Big East regular season with 65-42 win over Providence. And just very quick game recap, Ryan. Wanted to go over some important highlights of this ball game. Becker scored all 17 of her points in the first half Saturday to lead the Huskies to this win. Aaliyah Edwards added 13. Ryan KK Arnold scored 12 for Connecticut. I like actually KK, Connecticut Huskies, KK Arnold got a lot of praise by the ESPN app, rather. A lot of videos of her on the actual recap page. So go ahead and check that out, Ryan, if you haven't already. So they finish obviously undefeated in conference play. Ryan, and I wanted to also mention to you, UConn shut down the Providence offense, holding the Friars to 26% shooting, 15 of 58, that is. All right. So when you take a look back, I think Gino called time it was the second quarter. And after that, Providence was down by 10, 25-15. But after that, UConn went on I believe it was an 8-0 run. And that pretty much did it. The Friars had hit just 5 of their 26 shots from the floor in the first 20 minutes. So Connecticut closed the first half. That's what I was looking for. First half on a 14-1 run. After that, it was all UConn, obviously. Ryan, and it looks like that Aaliyah Edwards and Paige Bueckers got a lot of time on the bench, a lot of time to relax, and that gave some other players. Well, actually, Amari DeBerry came into this game. I don't know if you have any update. Amari DeBerry came into this game. She did not show up to the actual location tonight. I think that she stayed on campus, as far as I hear, under concussion protocol. I would like more information, but I guess we won't get that. But yeah, under concussion protocol. Very unfortunate, because I think Jason was right that she possibly could have been a surprise, a key role player to, not saying all of a sudden just step out and score 30 when we haven't seen her hardly ever
Yeah.
before. But you get the feeling that she could have got some minutes down the stretch. So I don't know how long that she's going to be actually not even appearing on the bench. But yeah, so they only had 8 healthy players in this ball game. And yeah, I mean, I just think that, so the rookies, the freshmen, they're getting prepared for March for the tournament. The Big East tournament is going to be, I got word, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, right? So Saturday night, Saturday evening, we should be back on here sometime. But yeah, Ryan, I mean, they talked about, I don't know, to get your take rather than just a recap tonight of this game, because we move forward fast, right? And I like Gino's comment. I believe he said something. He goes, to be that good and to be that consistent home away this year, maybe more so than other years, it feels really gratifying. And that's saying a lot for them to go undefeated in the conference, 18-0, right? And they finished 26-5 overall. It's not easy. It's not, even though they made it look easy in conference, it's not easy, especially what they've had to deal with this year. But yeah, also Aaliyah Edwards and Paige Bueckers. They talk about that 1-2 punch. We're already aware. We've been saying it for weeks. They just don't know how or what surprised Gino. Maybe Gino's been around so long. He has been, obviously. What is it that you think that can a surprise draw in the playbook, right? A draw up. I mean, or is it just, I don't want to say impossible, but how do you get the ball rolling more rather than just Edwards Beckers Edwards?
Yeah, I think it's something UConn's gonna have to figure out, and I honestly think they're gonna win a lot of games in March, or probably all of their games, because of their defense. I don't want to focus on all the negatives. Obviously, great game tonight. UConn goes undefeated in the Big East with another season full of so many obstacles, injuries. Amari she got injured in practice going up for a rebound, is what I heard. So that's why,
Oh, okay.
unfortunately got a concussion from that. So somehow players are still getting injured at this point of the year in practice. But yeah, I mean, that's just, pretty much the summary of this season in terms of the injuries. But yeah, it is really kind of hard to believe that, UConn has actually done it now, undefeated in the Big East with all those obstacles yet again this season. But I really hope the offense kind of heats up a little bit more because like the other night, didn't score enough points in my opinion. And tonight only 65 points. Now, of course, Paige and Aaliyah, like you said, did get more resting minutes than usual. Didn't play as much. The three available players on the bench probably played a little more minutes than what they're used to seeing, but still, only five made threes tonight, 5 of 23. I don't think that's going to cut it as well. So hopefully, they start opening up from the 3-point range. Hopefully, the offense starts flowing a little bit more as we go into the tournament, the Big East tournament and March Madness. But I think the defense is on point. It has been the whole season. So hopefully that can kind of carry them into these final remaining games that we do have. And hopefully the offense will kind of start heating up with that.
Yeah, you're right. These two teams very cold from beyond the 3-point line, and I think that that's something that the Huskies, if they do matter of fact fall short in March, like unfortunately you and I and I'm guessing a lot of other people are predicting, but they're not going to say it right now out loud. We talked about it, Sweet 16, Elite Eight. Jason D'Amico even talked about it with us. But yeah, I think that that's what is one, not just the only factor, but man, if they really do not, I don't care who it is on the roster, just anybody, if they don't start shooting threes at least a little better, I think that that's one of the key reasons that they come up short in March if they do. Also, Ryan, I don't know if you were aware, Paige Bueckers. It was a scare. It was a scare, obviously, for me and the big Beckers fans. She came up with I believe she banged her knee in one of the quarters here tonight, but they took her out. She kind of walked it off, is what I heard, and she was able to shake off that banged up knee. So I didn't hear anything post game, so I'm guessing that's a very good sign. But yeah, there was kind of a scare with her coming out of the game just for a brief time. So just take note of that and cross your fingers. Obviously, listen to this here. Providence has now lost its last 35 meetings with UConn. The Friars last beat the Huskies on, guess when, Ryan? March 7th, 1993, in the semifinals of the Big East tournament. So go ahead and, Ryan, you can tell everybody if you were born or not, and then let's see if anybody else. How many other of our subs were born or not born uh, when the last time the Friars beat the Huskies? All right, let's go over to comments, Ryan, very quickly. How about Jason said, I can forgive Dan for his ignorance because women's basketball is not given the same level of prestige as men's sports on ESPN and other networks, which is a crime, in my opinion. Moreover, Dan does not realize that being physical is an actual part of UConn's opponent's game plan because of UConn's lack of size. It is a conscious effort to try and be extra physical with Paige, just as they were with Lou Lopez last year. By the time UConn made it to March Madness, they were beat up and exhausted, how they made it that far at all was a testament to just how talented the team really was. Peace. Man, that's a good point, Ryan.
And I think it's kind of the same story this season as well, because they're kind of forced to be physical, forced to have this small lineup for a majority of the season, unfortunately, because again, due to all these injuries. So, hopefully the same thing doesn't happen again, but it just kind of seems like it's the same storyline as last season. UConn's had to fight so much to just finish strong, get to the end of the regular season. Obviously, hopefully the Big East tournament will be as easy as the regular season was against all these teams. But yeah, hopefully, they can rest up a little bit before the tournament. Hopefully, no more players get banged up before we go into the March Madness tournament. Yeah, but it's going to be interesting to see how much energy they have, if they can compete. As the eliteness of the teams keeps going up and up by each round, but hopefully they're not exhausted and worn out when they do play these higher level teams.
Marcia Clark, have you ever heard, Ryan, the phrase less is more sometimes? All right, less is more. This comment, March, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. We're ready. We've been waiting for it a long time, so hopefully everybody else is ready. I know UConn's ready. They can, they're gonna believe they can win. They could only have, five available players, and everybody's gonna, try their hardest, play their hearts out, give it all they can for 40 minutes. So I know whoever they play, they're gonna give it their all. They're not gonna go out without a fight. That's for sure.
All right, how about one more? Mark Hathaway. We barely get to his comments. We appreciate Mark coming through. It can be said that as something evolves, those who are closest don't see it sometimes, but usually the ones watching see the changes, and those who don't watch are shocked when they see it. This can apply to many things besides UConn women's basketball. Look at kids growing up, for example. They change, and it can sometimes be shocking. If UConn is more physical, it's primarily because they have to deal with other teams which can't keep up, but play more physically to compensate. Frankly, I don't care how physical a team is if it's within the rules. This UConn team is a bit undersized, and when they are physical, it maybe stands out as more obvious, but a lot of women's teams are strong. I mean, to go along with that, yeah, Ryan. I mean, we're sitting here laughing last night about Dan Orlovsky, his comments, but maybe down the stretch in March, he he really has a better point than anybody thought. I mean, maybe UConn is just legally, put quotation marks around it, legally just throwing bodies around the floor.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean that they might be. It might be what UConn is gonna have to do.
Yeah,
Just play more and more physical somehow. Yeah,
yeah.
it might end up being the recipe to success, to be able to compete. As they get into the Sweet 16, Elite Eight, facing teams that are bigger and have the size advantage. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully they can do that. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure.
All right, no last check in, Ryan, as we will have last check ins, obviously, 2 weeks from actually today. That would be St. Patrick's Day, Selection Sunday. But for now, we will take an extended period off, and we will be back with you all on Saturday, right, Ryan? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Hopefully, that's the plan. And both teams, specifically Connecticut, will head to Uncasville for next week's Big East tournament. Phil and Rye on Listen Up.